Good afternoon. I am Deepti Tripathi, journalist and consulting editor of Envoy Excellency magazine. Today, it's our great pleasure to introduce Mr. Sarvanan Selvam, General Manager of Grandfoods India. Welcome, sir. Before proceeding further, I would like to give quick brief of Envoy Excellency magazine. It is an international monthly magazine backed by DN Media Group. It specifically covers diplomatic community worldwide, foreign and national affairs. Envoy Excellency magazine covers politics, international affairs, culture, tourism and medical tourism. The magazine is characterized by its high quality analytical articles on events at national and international level. Readership of Envoy Excellency magazine includes ministries, diplomatic mission, bilateral and multilateral chambers, trade blocs, high networks individuals and captains of industries. Now, I would like to thank Mr. Paneer Selvam, General Manager of Grandfoods India, who has more than 20 years of experience in the pump industry. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us the opportunity to talk to you and know more about Grandforce India and their works, and also to understand the business challenges Grandforce India facing during this pandemic. As we know, Grandforce India, it is the largest pump manufacturer in the world. It is a 100% subsidiary of Denmark-based global company. Grandforce Pumps helps bring drinking water to remote villages and highest skyscraper, treating wastewater and heating or cooling the world. Now, my question is to you, sir. How did COVID-19 outbreak impact life at Grandforce?
Life at Grundfos exactly as in fact it has completely changed the way in which we look at business and we conduct business in the offices and also outside the offices. We used to meet customers very often face to face, and also we used to conduct a lot of events, the trainings inside the customers' premises or also sometimes outside, bringing in all the customers for an evening seminar kind of stuff, and all that has come to a grinding halt. So the way in which we do business have completely changed. And sometime back we were looking at doing some online business and online interaction with customers, but that was not very well encouraged. But today the customers and also us don't have any other option. I mean, today everything is being built on online, and our online engagement with the customers have gone very well and very well received also. In fact, we are planning for an online virtual expo for the customers to come in and visit our stalls virtually, as if they are walking into an exposition, and see our products and talk to our employees, specialists, to understand the product and their applications, and how these applications, the challenges what they face, can be resolved using our product, using our different solutions. So all these things have happened in just a matter of about 6 to 7 months time, because the COVID has actually completely changed the situation. And that's a good part of it. On the other side, the business has gone down a little bit and it came to a grinding halt sometime in April. But then we recovered well. We are at this point of time, we are only about minus 20, minus 18% of the business last year, which is definitely, given the conditions, definitely a good show by the team.
Moving to next question. What strategy did Grandforce apply to deal with this pandemic?
I was just, as I told you earlier, we immediately switched over to the online platform to get our customers engaged at different levels. In fact, some of the events has attracted almost about 400, 500 participants per session. That was really interesting, and a lot of people have really appreciated the way in which we engage with our customers during this session. And practically speaking, when such situation comes in, a lot of customers have got enough time to sit and understand about the new technology that is available. Because otherwise, when the business is good, the customers may not be having enough time to look at these kind of new innovations, new products, because everything is going at a breakneck speed. So they don't have time. But on this kind of situations will create a lot of time for the customers also to sit in front of the monitor or in front of the customers, I mean in front of the suppliers, to understand what is new and what kind of new solutions that can improve their businesses. So that has really picked up very well, and our guys have used the time very well. and put up clear interactive presentations to improve the customer relationship. In fact, very recently we have conducted an external customer satisfaction survey, and the results have come out very well.
Yeah, well said, sir. So, my next question is, with the business starting to open, what will Grandforce do to pick up the pace?
Business coming up now, the business is opening up a little bit is definitely a right statement at this point of time. But as I told you, we cannot be complacent. We are really just watching the situation at this point of time. Is it a real turnaround, or is it a small spike that we are seeing? So that the businesses which were the projects which were at the closing stage, they are trying to close it. There are no new projects which are picking up. They are not initiating at this point of time. So we are a little watchful on that, but no doubt that business is definitely picking up for the past couple of months. We are trying to see without dropping our guards. We are trying to see if we are able to engage with customers face to face. That is provided every aspects of safety precautions are well maintained, both at our level and also at the customer level. And if the customer is really insisting on a face-to-face meeting, we are saying okay to meet them face-to-face and try to explain the product features and go for some negotiation discussions, etc. That's what we are doing. But slowly we are trying to bring in more and more employees first to the office. As I told you earlier, it's about April, May, and all these things. Everybody are working from home. I mean, even now you are working from home, right? So, but then we are trying to bring in more employees. Of course, we are not forcing them. We are asking them if they are comfortable to move into the office. We are okay to accept them in the office. And I mean, everyone wants to get back to office, isn't it? I mean, 6 months is a long time for anyone to sit at home and work in front of a small monitor. Everybody would like to get an opportunity to come into the office. So at this point of time, we are working almost about 65 to 70% of the employee strength in almost all the offices except Delhi. Delhi office is still closed. We are all working from home in that area. But we are trying to encourage customers. I mean, encourage our employees to come into the office and work together. So that relieves a lot of stress for the employees also. So, and also we are looking at some of the approaches. We keep talking to our people to ensure that they are not getting into a much stressed situation. So we engage team meetings online very often.
Okay. So my next question is, Grandforce is a huge investor in the Maldives that is hugely shaken by the pandemic.
Yeah.
So what is the company doing to edge ahead of the COVID-19 outbreak in the country?
It is definitely a tough situation in Maldives at this point of time. In fact, the couple of employees where we have engaged in Maldives had to be brought back because the families were worried. Because these employees were sitting there in Maldives, the families were back in India. So we had to bring them back. As much as possible, we are engaging with the customers online only at this point of time. And also, how the flight situations are all between these two countries today. So we would like to get into the market as quickly as possible and to serve the customers well. But we are not in a situation to do that at this point of time, considering the safety of the not only the employees but also the customers. They're also equally worried, isn't it? So we don't want to put our customers also in danger. So we are just waiting for situation to improve a little further and to see how do we support our customers well. But if a customer is looking for any specific product, it is being sent out immediately. And we also ensure the first thing is the services are not interrupted. We have our distributors sitting there, so they have a well-trained manpower in terms of handling services. And if we are able to guide them online, once again, on critical situations where they need some support, so we do that online. So making them attending the service calls as and when that is required immediately. And any products or spare parts immediately flown to Maldives for any emergencies.
So moving to next question. India has extended aid to support the Maldives economy. So what do you think are the major steps the island nation should take to battle the pandemic woes?
No difference in my opinion. There is no difference in the way in which the governments should approach or the way in which the governments are approaching the current situation of pandemic. they should, first of all, they must bring in a lot of awareness in terms of this particular disease and how to avoid this, avoid contracting this disease first. Okay, so as famously called SMS, social distancing, mask, and sanitize. So people should start using this more consciously and try to avoid coming in close contact with anybody else, whether it's a customer, supplier, any individual. Okay, so they should avoid getting close to each other and then try to maintain that social distancing and use the sanitizers or soaps very often to wash their hands and keep their hygiene level better. So as the government has to really push the people to ensure that they follow the safety precautions very well. It's not an easy task at all. I mean, I could see even in our country, a lot of people still moving around without mask and not maintaining the social distancing. That's a challenge. That's really a challenge posed by the communities. But Maldives, in my opinion, they are slightly in a better situation when compared to India because the population is controllable, small population, it's a small nation. Okay, so it's definitely be. I'm sure they will be in a better situation to control the people and the situation there.
So my next question is, how bad has the pandemic hit global exports of Grundfos?
Don't ask me. It's actually yes, it has hit us badly in terms of business. Not just the market is down. I mean, the main other aspect is the logistics issues that we have faced and facing currently also, because the many of the ships are actually not moving in the scheduled routes because they are not getting enough fill, so they are not able to operate with half ships loaded or something like that. So the consignments are delayed. And also, in case if one of the crew member is getting affected, the entire ship is getting quarantined in one port for 14 days. So that is resulting in many of the logistics delays in the business. So the business is suffering. So that is happening for almost about 3-4 months now consistently. And when we speak to the experts, when we speak to the logistics people, they say that please expect a little more this kind of situation for the next 3 to 4 months minimum. Till the time the vaccines are found out and tried in the market, it's going to be the situation for some more months to come. So that is definitely affecting the business for us. But of course, as far as Grundfos India is concerned, we are responsible only for our export business only in Maldives, Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. So our exports are not that badly affected in terms of material movements, but the markets are down. I mean, as I told you, the Maldives has come to a grinding halt, and Bangladesh is also suffering a lot. Nepal is okay to some extent, and Bhutan, as usual, it's a small market for us, so we have not seen much of impact there. But the business is more than the business, the logistics issues have hit us badly.
Yeah, in fact, we are also waiting for the vaccine. Hope vaccine will come soon.
Hey, everyone, let's hope for the best. Yes, of course. Yeah. But I'm sure human race will not just like that lie down and take this kind of situation. We will come out strongly. That much confidence I definitely have.
Yes, we should be positively. We are waiting. Maybe next year things will get to be settled down.
Hopefully. Yeah.
So my next question is, what are the main challenges ahead of us as to process of unlocking peak space?
The first challenge I see is more of psychological. I would say how to get back people on track once again. Okay, so the fear is going to be there. As I told you earlier, that the way in which people look at life has changed. I was in my son's school yesterday. I mean, people were debating whether the school should be open now. We were called to give our opinion. So there were very divided opinions. A lot of people are still afraid. A couple of them were saying that okay, we don't mind sending our kids. We are okay with that. But then when the kids come back from school, if they are asymptomatic, and if they are passing on this to my elderly parents, what happens to them? So that kind of complications are still on. So the same thing can apply to the business houses. People who are working here, they may be willing to come. They want to get out of the house and they want to come into the office. But what happens if they carry the disease, contract the disease somewhere, not in the office, not necessarily in the office, but on the way? So they have to commute a long way. So on the way, if they pick up and get back and pass it on to some of the elderly people at home, so that fear is definitely there. Some amount of fear is very important, because then people go fearless, and then they forget about all social distancing, masks, sanitizers, nothing, personal hygiene, everything. So that's dangerous. So, but the fear to a greater level can also affect psychologically people. So that is a major challenge that I see at this point of time. Rest everything the market will pick up, because ultimately the governments have to survive, the business has to survive, people have to survive. So obviously the business will pick up once, as you rightly said, once the vaccine is out. Whether it reaches, of course, people are talking about it will take about 2 to 3 years for the vaccines to reach every nook and corner. But the moment the news comes out, the vaccine is out and it is available now, that will change the complete way of people's psychology and the way in which people look at the future. So that's the main challenge what I see.
Yes, I agree. Even yes. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. And for all viewers, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and also you can download Envoy Excellency app from your Play Store. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Ms. Duty.